Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today.
In a world where dreams meet reality, there exists a place where your business can flourish. That place is Shopify. Imagine having the power to craft your online store with tools that make it as easy as a gentle breeze. Whether you're an artisan of handmade wonders, a creator of digital treasures, or a curator of the latest trends, Shopify stands by your side. With its customizable templates, seamless integrations, and support that's always there, your dream store is just a heartbeat away. Join millions of visionaries around the globe and let Shopify guide you on your journey. Visit roguemedianetwork.com/Shopify. That's roguemedianetwork.com/SHOPIFY. And embark on your free trial. Shopify, where your commerce dreams come to life.
I am Rachel Ruth Tate, and this is Text Astrology. A big hello to everybody out there listening. I am Rachel Ruth, the starry-eyed individual behind this show, and I want to welcome all assembled to today's edition of the podcast. In this installment, we are talking about the new moon in Sagittarius, happening on Wednesday, November 23rd at 4:58 p.m. Central Standard Time at just 1 degree of Sagittarius, which I could not be more pleased about. Yes, this is one of the many upbeat episodes that I promise you there will be a whole lot more of in just a cosmic moment. Like Sagittarius itself would, let's jump right in. So, Sagittarius is the 9th sign in the zodiac, the mutable fire sign ruled by Jupiter and symbolized by the centaur archer. As Jupiter, the teacher and spiritual seeker, our greater benefic, our higher good, so as Jupiter's yang or assertive expression, Sagittarius is all about the outward exploration of the universe. It's about the passion of discovery and the joy of sport, the glory of aiming for and achieving a goal. It is a heart on fire for something, the aliveness imbued by novelty, and the delight of surprise. So this new moon will already have a nice flavor to it, because all humans like a little bit of zest and good cheer that Jupiter is renowned for. But this moon is also happening in Jupiter's own decan. Remember, a decan is a 10-degree span of special ability, one of 3, right, that comprise the 30 degrees of any sign, in this case Sagittarius. So this is Jupiter's own sign and its own decan within its own sign. Super Jupiter-flavored lunation here. Remember, Jupiter also enjoys triplicity rulership of fire signs as well. So a very, very, very Jupiter moon, while the planet itself is in its other home sign of Pisces, now in the transiting or current sky. The condition of the moon's ruler is key in determining the quality of the lunation. So the moon's ruler in its own home sign of rulership is generally a good thing, but it's super lovely when we get a moon ruled by one of the benefics, Venus or Jupiter, pleasure and success, when the benefic is also in good condition and in direct aspect or relationship to the lunation, to the moon itself. That's very beneficent, and that's what we have going on. And what's more, even though Jupiter is retrograde in Pisces, It's moving apparently backwards, but that planet of Jupiter will station direct less than 20 minutes after this moon is technically new. A planet emphasizes itself and strengthens its meanings when it stations, direct or retrograde, any planet. And Jupiter stationing this close to the new moon in Sagittarius puts another underscore on the already super Jupe quality of the syzygy. Go big or go home. That's Jupiter. Jupiter is also very late in Pisces, almost in Aries, meaning it makes a trine, albeit out of sign. But it makes a trine within 3 degrees from its place, currently at 28 degrees of Pisces, to the moon, which is happening at 1 degree of Sagittarius. Remember, a trine is a 120-degree aspect. And that angle is, or has in and of itself, a nature like Jupiter. It flows. So Jupiter is within a day of directional station, the planet itself. It is aspecting a lunation, a new moon, in its own decan by an angle of its own nature in its own sign from its own sign. This is auspicious, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake, it is auspicious. And what is Jupiter about, you ask, besides sheer goodness, beneficence, bigness? Well, Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system, and its gravity serves actually as a literal protective shield for the rest of the inner planets of our solar system by pulling in cosmic debris that may otherwise tangle with one of the small planets like Earth. So Earth and the life on it is a major beneficiary of that gravitational protection because Jupiter, remember, is more massive than all of the other planets combined. Think about that scale. And Jupiter is about expansion. That planet is ever expanding, ever storming. And in astrology, as in physical reality, it's the same. It's about higher experience, social benefit, the good of all, evolution. That's the type of the sort of bigness that we're talking about. The archetype is not only big and deep, but also wide. That modern humanity still bears the memory of Jupiter in our very culture. Tangible example. One of Jupiter's mythical symbols in human history is, in fact, the eagle, a powerful symbol of vast freedom that the United States, the arguable current hegemon, has co-opted. The land of the free and the home of the brave. Definitely Jupiter and Sagittarius stuff. And per the generally accepted Sibley chart, which is the birth chart of the United States itself, so that chart features a Sagittarius ascendant, giving the United States a Sagittarian quality, or a rising sign of self. Jupiter is the idea of, quote, manifest destiny and the general welfare. You know what we believe in here. And life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the in God we trust. You get it. Jupiter is the king and the priest and the pilgrim. Because Jupiter enlightens and enriches. It educates and evolves. It leads and stewards. It widens horizons and broadens perspectives. Jupiter is the king of the gods and the planets, and one must rise into one's crown. It's important to note that all things have a shadow, Jupiter included. Jupiter can overindulge, overpromise, overextend. It can crusade in self-righteousness, colonize, remain aloof, ignore the mundane, get too big for its britches, neglect the practical minutiae, stretch the truth, mistake delusion for divinity, become obsessed with quest, mythologize the past, and just generally be high and mighty. But true sovereignty, that enlightened Jupiterian energy, true sovereignty is visionary. And this new moon in Sagittarius is about the new vision. It is about the greater meaning and the higher purpose of this lunation and of spiritual impulse in general. Its mutable fire represents the unbounded potential of direct knowledge and divine connection that we all, I repeat, all inherently possess. Jupiter on Earth is us, our human souls, on fire for and lit up by. And this sort of lunation can get real heady. So take care. Mutable signs like Sagittarius can go to the extremes. Truth with a capital T is impossible to pin to a post because the realm of the possible is ever expanding, and what we are able to perceive is as well. At best, Jupiter lives in hope and opens to life in all ways, even those unexpected. Enlightened Sagittarius is curious about that which brings it closer to God, as well as gnosis, bringing it closer to self-actualization. Because the benefit of all beings and the benefit of the one are the same when it comes down to it. All for one and one for all. So this new moon really tried to channel your energy into both positive and productive channels that represent the very best of who you hope to be. Because remember, this moon is new, and the new moon is the dark moon, the conjunction of the sun and the moon, or our regular energetic reset, after which the moon will begin to wax or grow in light until it is again full. And so we can think of this new moon in Sagittarius like a coaxing of embers back to flames. Jupiter stationing direct in Pisces feeds the fire with the change of the directional winds. We are evolving towards now, not in spite of. And this evolution is taking place in different spaces of our lives for all of us. I'm going to endeavor to shed some light on how it may impact your life by issuing an advisory about the action of Jupiter in the charts of each sign, both in Sagittarius, the sign of the lunation itself, and in Pisces, Jupiter's other home sign and current location of that planet in the sky. We are deviating from the mantra horoscopes because this is an easier lunation, and it's easier for the human spirit to process than many in a while. So I want to challenge us to rise to this occasion by learning more about where and how the Jupiterian functions in our charts and our lives. That very act of learning and the raising of self-awareness is a perfect dedication or personal ceremony for the new moon itself. Please, please, please use your rising sign for these horoscopes, please, as that speaks to the first house of self and personhood, but your sun or your moon sign will make some sense as well. So, this cycle for all 12 signs, the areas of your life that contain Sagittarius and Pisces for each sign, so we can pay special attention to them and to the Jupiterian in our own charts, from the new moon through the next full moon. And let me note that even after this moon, these areas of your life that Jupiter rules will not change. So, be mindful. Aries, your higher learning, spiritual and religious activities, mental health, emotional well-being. Taurus, what you share with others, intimacy and commerce, social life, hopes and dreams. Gemini, your partnerships, one-on-one relating, career and public roles, reputation. Cancer, your daily life, chores and work, personal development, education and travel. Leo, your creative life, including children, pleasure and play, mutual energy, shared experience. Virgo, your home and family life, roots and origins, close partnerships, how you relate. Libra, engagement with your environment, locality and surroundings, daily work, health, Scorpio, your income and possessions, application of talents, kids and creations, pleasure. Sagittarius, yourself, physical body and personality, house and home, family and private life. Capricorn, your mental and emotional worlds, interaction with close community, your neighborhood. Aquarius, your social groups, dreams and aspirations, your talents, income and belongings. Pisces, who you are in public, career, your identity and self-concept, physical body. Let your focus softly rest on those horoscopes, I guess, and Jupiter's gifts in your life while we take a short break from our sponsors.
Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today.
And now we are back in the studio with more text astrology. Let's make like mutable signs and flow into the top 3 transits to track over the next 2 weeks. Number 1, Jupiter stations direct at 28 degrees Pisces, just 17 minutes after our new moon. Also on Wednesday, November 23rd at 5:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. It will be there until it moves to Aries on December 20th of this year. Of course, with this new moon being in Sagittarius and ruled by Jupiter, we had to touch briefly on this transit in the earlier portion of the show. But it's important to dive deeper here. Jupiter is stationing in its own mutable water sign Pisces, after all. And being the 12th and final sign in the zodiac, Pisces, represented by the 2 fish, is about the deep and wide emotional swim that makes up the currents of the journey of life itself. It's essential here, I believe, to draw a distinction between the 2 flavors of Jupiter. I know I've said that word a few times this podcast. Sagittarius, the young fire sign of this new moon, and Pisces, the yin water sign where Jupiter is stationing just a bit later. There are 2 ways to experience any traditional planet, 2 signs which each one rules. In this case, Jupiter. So there is an assertive outward expression of Jupiter and also an internal received understanding. That's the Pisces. Jupiter is our higher good experienced personally and socially, that which we offer to the collective and that which we receive from the collective. Pisces is that receptive side of the Jupiterian, so be prepared to allow the good into your life. Jupiter stationing direct here is a boon for our relationship with the universe. It is what we glean from it spiritually and emotionally, water sign stuff. And remember, Venus is the exaltation ruler of Pisces. So Jupiter rules Pisces. Venus is the exaltation ruler. And this makes it divine stuff. True love, real connection, deep intuition, profound intimacy, healing gifts. You know this flavor, Pisces, that which is all forms of good, Jupiter and Venus, as that which can be felt and sensed. It's the best things in life are free sort of stuff. That which is so meaningful and true it can't be commodified or falsified. Moments of connection like this are hard to put into words, and that is why Mercury doesn't work well here. So, good thing we aren't dealing with that. This is Jupiter, the great teacher and the arbiter of high purpose. We are about to receive its powerful abundance. But speaking of Mercury, it is still in Sagittarius, Jupiter's other sign, where we are having that new moon, our personal reset, alongside Venus and the Sun. Sagittarius is another place Mercury does not work well, so do not sign contracts based on your spiritual revelations per se, or drop everything and move halfway around the world for love without due consideration, or don't spend your life savings pursuing your newest passion. You get me. Overdoing it is possible when there's a lot of good feeling and optimism. It's tempting to act impulsively after God speaks to us. The veil lifts or the sea seems to part. It's tempting to move fast. As I have emphasized in other media, ride this good wave of Jupiter stationing direct in Pisces for all that you can, and temper that ebullience with reason and pragmatism. The beauty and joy of life will be easier to access and to overindulge in this environment, so please be intentional and mindful, because there will be a lot to be grateful for. And maybe gratitude can be that grounding cord for us. There is arguably much pragmatism in prayer and true thanksgiving. Second transit. Neptune stations direct at 22 degrees of Pisces on Saturday, December 3rd at 5:49 p.m. Central Standard Time. Another station. Neptune, our blue-hued transpersonal outer planet that symbolizes the collective imagination and the sea of all potentiality. Neptune will follow mighty Jupiter in stationing direct in our final zodiac sign, Pisces. Like Jupiter did, Neptune will draw attention and import to its meanings and world action around the time of its station. Neptune, the mythical Titan god of the oceans, governs the totality of that which can be felt and sensed. Water sign stuff. We see a theme throughout the universe. Neptune is all possible states of consciousness, the entire spectrum of potential emotion, the vastness of the experience of sentient beings, the full scale of pleasure and pain, the entirety of the awareness of the human, the animal, the reptile, the insect, all of it, and the rest of the known and unknown forms of lived experience, vegetal, crystal, all of it. Neptune, for this reason, is often associated with the alteration of our conscious awareness through sleep, mind-altering substances, spiritual awakenings, sexuality, hypnosis, meditation, and other such activities. Which brings us to what it means for Neptune to station direct in Pisces, the mutable, watery, Jupiterian, emotional, and spiritual truth sign. It's going to feel. Modern astrology even associates the planet Neptune directly with Pisces, granting it rulership of the sign as opposed to Jupiter. While I practice traditional Hellenistic astrology and find it to be the most effective Western astrological system yet conceived, I do acknowledge the affinity that dreamy, deeply feeling Neptune has with emotional, deeply profound Pisces. They have unquestionable commonality in their archetypes. Now, if you stay with me and remember that the traditional ruler of Pisces is Jupiter, the greater benefic, and the exaltation ruler of Pisces is Venus, the lesser benefic, hear me out and think about what Neptune, the totality of the felt and sensed, what would that be when combined with those two benefics? What does that make? Well, Neptune is boundless, boundaryless, and infinitely possible. So it's really the ineffable, the unspeakably true and beautiful. But it doesn't stop there. Neptune doesn't stop at just the beautiful. It isn't the one side of the story. It's the everything felt and sensed. The height also implies a depth. Neptune is also the Romeo and Juliet kind of beauty. It's the murder of passion energy. It's dreams turn nightmares realization. It's spectacular falls from grace. It's the consciousness of those on the plane while it crashes. It's the collective witnessing of the Twin Towers type vibe. It's the unfolding horror of a global pandemic. It's the galactic scale of the destructive force of an exploding star. It's whatever the feeling is on the other side of a black hole. Neptune encompasses every shade of reality. Remember, Neptune is a Titan. All of the mythology is careful to separate the Titans from the gods. Their awareness, the Titans, is much older and more primal. They are the first heavenly bodies forming our solar system as violent cosmic collisions beget an ever-changing landscape that eventually evolves into the solar system we experience today. But you can tell by all the craters, it was rough. Watch any documentary on the forming of our solar system and you'll see. And in myth, the Titans have been banished. Locked away by the gods, so goes the Greek myth. Well, they are literally invisible to the naked human eye. We can only see the planets up through Saturn. Cronus, the father of Zeus, Jupiter. The other Titans, like Neptune, were hidden from us, until we conceived of telescopes powerful enough to reach their light, though their gravity still participates in the cosmic harmonic motion of our planetary symphony and always has. That titanic influence was and simply is harder to see, harder to witness. The scale is bigger, the awareness very foreign. Neptune won't make itself easier to see. But as it stations, when we round the bend from November into December, I challenge us to try to connect with the energy, because knowledge is power. So Neptune will station at 22 degrees Pisces in an exact, dynamically energized square with personal benefic Venus, that exaltation ruler of Pisces, from 22 degrees of Sagittarius. And it will be in a close square as well with personal malefic Mars at 18 degrees of Gemini, meaning whatever Neptune is doing in your chart, wherever it is altering your consciousness or blurring lines or fogging the mirror, that will be more uniquely obvious to us personally as this station happens. It will be the dream of yours, Venus, that feels stuck between manifestation and a total stall, Mars retrograde. Watch out for it and move with caution into the mist. Number 3. Mercury enters Capricorn on Tuesday, December 6th at 4:04 p.m. Central Standard Time, where it will be until mid-February of 2023, as Mercury is going to be completing a retrograde within the sign of Capricorn. Woohoo, retrogrades. So it will station retrograde later in the month on December 29th at 24 degrees of Capricorn. And Mercury will travel all the way back to 8 degrees of Cap, a degree that it reaches within 1 week of entering the sign. So remember, Mercury will enter shadow, that area that it will retrograde through. It will enter its shadow at 8 degrees, and we will begin to enter the territory that we retread later. Definitely be on the lookout for reoccurring patterns and themes. Mercury in Capricorn has a talent for concretizing information and moving forward with a plan. Keep that in mind. Speaking of the mind, Mercury enters Capricorn just one day, before our full moon lunation happens in Gemini, that next lunation. And Gemini is one of Mercury's 2 signs. So notice that pulling of focus from all the Jupiter we've been talking about to Mercury. You can tell Mercury is about to grab the mic. Luckily, this is Mercury in Capricorn we have on the intercom. A master of direct and clear communication. Capricorn is the 10th sign in the zodiac, our directional earth sign ruled by Saturn. and whose exaltation ruler is Mars. Now you're getting the Capricorn flavor. Its symbol is the goatfish, a mythical being who scales the mountains adeptly and swims the depths as well. It can get things done on any terrain. Capricorn is industrious and focused on pushing projects towards building structures, both physical and non, with longevity, and basically just achieving ends. Saturn and Mars' enlightenment is Capricorn's pragmatism and leadership, its ability to manifest and materialize. Mercury in Capricorn is kind of like Venus in Sagittarius that we spoke about last podcast. It's a sort of neutral positive with no real inherent ability or debility. It's just Capricorn-flavored Mercury. Like Venus in Sag, Mercury in Cap has just a single bound or Egyptian term that it rules in Capricorn, just some extra power in the first 7 degrees of Capricorn, which is the location of that single term. And notice those are the exact degrees Mercury will pass through before reaching its shadow. Powerful. So let me emphasize, use the first week of Mercury in Capricorn to get shit done. Use the first week. It's the best Mercury that we will have in the sky for a while, given the impending retrograde. So get all your Mercury business done. And Mercury is the ruler of commerce, so I mean this literally. Any transaction, administration, contracts, important communication, essential projects, repairs, appointments, whatever. You get it. Apply that Saturn-flavored Mercury to what's necessary while the getting is good. And then accept that we might have some mix-ups afterwards. I have a feeling that this New Year's travel is going to be an absolute shit show with Mercury stationing retrograde just days before. And perhaps even Christmas travel, as Mercury will be well into its shadow by then. I'm not saying you have to hunker down after mid-December, but travel or transactions, those are going to have some hiccups, so expect them. Because Mercury in Capricorn is a fan of accurate information, even if it's not what it wants to hear. Mercury in Cap can handle bad news with a poker face, but the information needs to be good, timely, and clearly communicated for it to be actionable. Saturn and Mars love actionable intelligence, which won't be quite the vibe later on. That's retrogrades for you. So take advantage of early December Mercury. But do keep in mind, at least Capricorn's ruler Saturn is in fine condition over there in its other home sign of Aquarius. So it's all going to get done no matter the delay, no matter the issue. Mercury is fortified by that Saturn, even if we may feel a bit more sober-minded and less jovial than we had in November with Mercury and Sag. Jovial literally comes from Jove, which is Jupiter's name in Roman mythology. So maybe with this Saturn transition, maybe this is us getting real. The fires of passion cooling into sturdiness of practicality and reason. Capricorn's specialty. So we won't be making all the art and freewheeling around the world playing, but we will be attending to structural life matters and delivering on our commitments. There is a lot of value in that, and Mercury in Capricorn is all about value. Simplest terms are a love language. So for now, let's go ahead and wrap up succinctly like Mercury in Capricorn, and I'll transition into our outline of the upcoming quality of time. The next couple of weeks after this new moon will be hopeful, zesty, animated, evolutionary, and amusing. Now that we have described the overall vibe for the human tribe, let's move into our do's and don'ts for this new moon in Sagittarius lunation. Do: explore and discover as your heart of hearts guides you towards spaces of more passion and purpose. Don't: allow your exciting impulses to become impulsive behavior you may regret later. What is meant for you won't and can't miss you. Do: allow yourself permission to change or evolve as you self-realize, and grant others the same kindness as we all transcend are tired narratives. Don't edit yourself to fit another person or group's idea of who you should be, or radically alter yourself on a mere whim. Who you are is its own truth and revelation. Give others your best during the holiday season. The golden rule never goes out of style, and your positive attention could change someone's world. Don't pour from an empty cup if you're trying to be everything to everyone everywhere. Nobody who loves you wants to drink from the bottom of your well. Rest is good. And that concludes this new moon in Sagittarius edition of the show. Stay curious and live firmly in hope during this buoyant Thanksgiving time syzygy. Remember to subscribe to, save, and share this podcast as much as you want. It helps me so much. Have a glorious holiday and Godspeed to all of y'all. That's it for this episode, folks. Meet me here every full and new moon for more cosmic wisdom. For now, you can find me on Instagram at Rachel Ruth Tate and at Text Astrology, or between the pages of my book, Meditations on Being, available on Amazon and wherever else you purchase books.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips. Get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today.
In a world where dreams meet reality, there exists a place where your business can flourish. That place is Shopify. Imagine having the power to craft your online store with tools that make it as easy as a gentle breeze. Whether you're an artisan of handmade wonders, a creator of digital treasures, or a curator of the latest trends, Shopify stands by your side. With its customizable templates, seamless integrations, and support that's always there, your dream store is just a heartbeat away. Join millions of visionaries around the globe and let Shopify guide you on your journey. Visit roguemedianetwork.com/Shopify. That's roguemedianetwork.com/SHOPIFY. And embark on your free trial. Shopify, where your commerce dreams come to life.